Hello and welcome to Talk to Coach live with Dr. D. First of all, I would like to welcome all my viewers who are watching us live to this program brought to you by Universal Coaching Federation. In Talk to Coach, we answer the questions of the people relating to their life, job, career, business, and relationship challenges. And we take any kind of question, any kind of thought. You can write it to us on our social media, on our LinkedIn page, or our Facebook, or our YouTube channel, or you can write it us to our website also. Today we have Mr. KV Premraj with us. KV Premraj comes with a 38 plus years of corporate leadership experience, where he have been associated with SDFC Bank Group on a leadership level. He's a coach and a speaker, an author, and a employee retention strategist. So welcome you, Premraj. How are you doing
Thank you,
today?
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm doing well. Thanks for having
Yeah,
me on the show.
great. So today we are going to talk to our viewers about a very nice topic on retention management. So, before I would like to ask you about the retention management, I would like to just share a few of my views. Retention management is one of the very important aspects for the organization. And when we talk about retention management, retention has to be at three levels. First level of retention, which comes to my mind, is of course employee retention, which is the very hot topic, and we are today going to talk about mostly on the employee retention part. The second retention comes to my mind when the corporate we talk is customer retention. Of course, some other day we will talk about customer retention with some other guest. And third retention, which comes in my mind, is of course the membership retention, where an organization which are based out through the members, a lot of non-profit organization, a lot of membership organizations are running nowadays. So it is the challenge for the organization how to retain and increase their members. So there are vast scope of coaching, consulting in all these areas, and Universal Coaching Federation with a specialized research based coaching mechanism, we have capability to empower and transform organization and the leadership in all kind of retention management, whether it is employee retention, customer retention, or your membership retention. But as I promised to all of you, today I will be talking about mostly on employee retention. So, the Premraj, you have been working on this area for a long time. So, why not you start sharing your experience and your views about this, especially the people's retention or employee retention, whatever we call in the organization, how challenging it is, and how through a proper coaching and guiding process we can help organization in retaining their employee at all levels.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, like you rightly mentioned, employee retention or attrition management is one of the biggest problems facing the corporate world. According to a recent report by the Society for Human Resources Management, the average cost of employee turnover is approximately 33% of an employer's annual salary in India. And we
Yeah.
find that the attrition is very very high in some sectors like retail. Then we have the banking space and the IT space.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, I spent 38 years in the corporate world,
Yeah.
and most of the times was in the banking sector. 37 of years was in the banking sector,
Right.
and most of it was with retail branch banking. So I have the pulse of the people. I have ground experience as to what's happening. And based on my experience in the branch banking field, the retail branch banking field, where an attrition is very, very high, I will be sharing some of the lessons that I've learned.
Right.
I'm happy to note and happy to mention that the retention levels in the units that I managed was much lesser than my peers.
Right.
So, based on the experiences that I had, I've come up with a 5 point formula which I feel can really help in ensuring that we have a better retention strategy.
Right.
So, the first one I would say is we need to create a sense of belonging in our employees.
Right.
I feel creating a sense of belonging is fundamental to employee retention. When employees feel that there is something bigger than themselves,
Right.
their engagement and loyalty increases.
Right.
There is a Deloitte study which found 83% of employees who feel they belong at work are more engaged and 72% are more productive.
Right.
So this is a great statistics that we can go by.
Right.
And when you talk about a sense of belonging, the employee should feel the company belongs to them and they are part of the
Right.
company corporate. Then you will find that the retention level decreases. If you have to take an example, and though it's a bit of a tragic example, in 2008 when the terrorist hit Taj Hotel,
Right.
you had the Taj employees who could have escaped, but
Yeah.
because of the sense of belonging they had,
Right.
remained there to help customers, and many of them died.
Right.
Why would they do that? That was because there was a sense of belonging that the Tata Group had created in these employees.
Right.
This is an example that has been taken as case studies in various world management schools. So
Yes.
our corporates should make employees feel that they are part of the organization. When that feeling comes, they are part of the organization, you will find that the retention is much higher,
Right.
much lower. Sorry. And how can this be done? There are some things that can be done as encourage team activities,
Right.
recognize individual corporates, and build a culture wherein
Yeah.
every employee feels that they belong.
Yeah.
So I feel the sense of belonging is one of the main things that a corporate should be looking at trying to retain employees.
Right.
The second thing that I've always found is active listening. When the management is actively listening to what the employees feel, you will find there is less attrition.
Right.
Active listening is crucial to understand and address employee concerns effectively.
Right.
It's not about just hearing words,
Yeah.
it's understanding the underlying emotions and issues.
Right.
And I think it was a Gallup survey which said if the employees feel they are more listened to, they are 4 point some 6% more likely to be empowered and engaged.
Right.
I can give you a personal example of how active listening helped me solve a problem. There was this time when I was managing a branch in Mumbai, wherein we had a problem of, at that was the time when ATMs used to be managed by the branch staff, and those
Right.
ATMs put cash and checks too. So in the
Yeah.
morning, when the tellers used to come, they used to retrieve these envelopes and cash. So that
Right.
would take about an hour's time, during which time, though we had three tellers, two tellers were engaged in sorting this out. So customers
Correct.
used to complain they had to manage with only one teller. So we were in a quandary. So I asked the staff members as to what is that we can do. And the staff members came with a beautiful suggestion. At that time, we used to open our branch at 8:30. So two of the tellers said, we will come at 7:30 and remove all these envelopes and cash. And before 8:30, we will see that the checks go in clearing and the cash is counted and accounted for. And at 8:30, all three tellers will be there.
Right.
Wonderful suggestion that came.
Yeah.
And we found due to this, the customers were happy because they had three tellers servicing them at 8:30 in the morning. And the
Right.
staff members were happy that their suggestion was followed.
True.
So if the management can go down to the shop floor and
Yeah.
understand what the employees are feeling and ask for solutions, you
Right.
will find a lot of problems can be sorted out. And when there is this participative management
Yeah.
between employees and employers, that sense of belonging that I talked about in the first part,
Right.
that will be there. And you will find that the chances of attrition of these employees is much, much lesser.
Right.
So what's needed is the organization needs to develop a culture of open communication
Right.
where employees not only feel they are heard, but their
Right.
suggestions are implemented, their feedback is valued.
Right.
If regular check-ins and surveys can be used as an effective tool to ask for suggestions from employees.
Right.
So these are two of the main things that are essential for employee retention. The
Yeah.
third thing I would say, and this is also very, very important, is empathy and compassion.
Right.
It is said empathy and compassion are going to be one of the most sought after skills in the
Yeah.
in the coming years.
Right.
What we need to ensure is each employee feels
Right.
that the management is empathetic to them, and if needed, they will go out of the way and try to solve their problems.
True.
There's a Harvard Business Review article which I was reading recently, which said a compassionate leadership sees 17% increase in employee satisfaction and a 20% increase in performance.
Right.
You have a lot of corporates who had done a lot during COVID times. Then
True.
that was essential. This compassion and empathy was essential. And if you
Right.
look at it, these are the corporates that has really, really ensured that the retention levels are manageable, are much
Yeah.
lesser. So this was a time, COVID was a time when the employers had to stand up to
Right.
ensure that the employees felt wanted.
Right.
So corporates who went out of the way, and when I say out of the way, it's just not work from home,
Right.
by being empathetic, by being compassionate, because many of the employees had fallen victims to COVID themselves, or
Right.
had their relatives who fell victims to COVID. So
Right.
wherever these corporates showed a sense of compassion and empathy, you will find that these employees felt that the
Right.
management cared for them, and
Right.
these employees will pay back in spades because they feel that the organization cared for them. So now it's time
Right.
to pay back. So you will see performance increasing, you will see
Right.
productivity increasing, you will see
Yeah.
employee satisfaction increasing.
Yeah.
This is essential. This is a soft skill that the management needs to develop to
True.
ensure that the employees are taken care of.
Right.
And the next step that I found, which was very, very useful, was what I would call as nurture and nourish.
Yeah.
We have employees who are working there.
Yeah.
These employees need to feel that the corporate cares for them.
True.
How is it that's possible? Promotions at the right time,
Right.
your work being recognized.
Yeah.
We see a lot of corporates wherein they get lateral, if there is a vacancy, they always get lateral employees rather than trying to get someone from the organization.
Right.
I've been a great votary of trying to get talent from inside the organization.
Right.
When a corporate promotes someone internally, one, it is
Yes.
showing that employee and showing employees that the
Yeah.
organization has a career path for them.
Hmm.
They don't have to look outside to grow. And the other great advantage of promoting people from inside is the person knows the culture of the organization, the
Yeah.
person knows the hierarchy, the person is aware of the other departments. So
Right.
working with the different sets of people is much, much easier.
Right.
Just think, if a lateral hire, someone from outside is hired to fill a vacancy, what happens? One, this person
Right.
will take about 3 to 6 months to get settled into the system, understand
Yeah.
the system. He needs to work his way and network to understand the other people who are there in the system, the other departments. That will take time.
Right.
Plus, his training and other needs, there is a cost element involved to that.
True.
Isn't it better if we find the employees, internal employees, are recognized with promotions if they are nurtured
Right.
and nourished? Then you will find that this happens. It's not only promotion when I talk about nurturing, it is
Yes. Yes.
it is skilling also.
Yeah.
Now, this is a knowledge economy.
Yeah.
The skill that an employee has gets obsolete very, very fast. And
Yeah.
especially with AI coming in, the
True.
whole world has gone topsy turvy. So
Right.
employees need to
Yes.
ensure that they skill their employees, because skilling employees, the employee will feel that there is the employer cares for them, is interested in their welfare. That's the reason they are training and skilling them. And
Right.
this the amount that the corporate will be spending in the scaling part, you will find that the productivity of the employee increases, and that will be the training cost and other things would be
Right.
completed. So it's very, very essential. The while it is always better for the employee to get themselves upskilled, but if the employee goes out of the way and empowers the employees with the latest skilling techniques, the latest things in the market that will ensure that the work gets done effectively, you will find the employee feeling that
Yeah.
they are cared for, and the productivity will increase. We are talking on the LinkedIn platform. The other day, I was reading LinkedIn's 2023 Workplace Learning Report, which
Right.
found 94% of the employees would stay longer at a company if it is interested in their career development.
Right.
So, do we need something much more than this?
Yeah.
So,
And that
what
is.
corporates, yeah. So, what corporates need to do is create a clear career path,
Yeah.
offer training programs,
Right.
and invest in continuous development to keep employees
Right.
motivated and engaged.
Yeah. I think you have put it in a very best way. You want to continue? You have something more to say?
Yeah, one more thing I have. The fifth part
Oh,
I have is
okay. Okay.
designing a culture for caring.
Yeah.
When I say culture for caring, it goes beyond just benefits and perks.
Right.
It's about creating an atmosphere where employees feel genuinely valued and supported.
Yes.
You will find a lot of employees who quit, and especially this is when new employee quits. There was some
Right.
Gallup survey that I was reading, which had done a survey of employees who had quit in the first 6 months
Mm-hmm.
of their joining. And what
Right.
came up was 32% of these employees mentioned the culture of the company.
Right.
Culture of the company was what made them quit.
Right.
So, and the culture, though it comes from the very top,
True.
even mid-level management can create their own culture in their units to
Right.
ensure that the employees stay around. So these
Yeah.
are the five important tenets which had helped me in ensuring that the retention levels was much manageable in the areas that I had managed.
Great. I think you have helped people understand, the viewer who are listening to us at a very depth level, how we can empower and retain our talents, our people in our organization. Because unless we retain those people, we will not able to create the future business leaders.
Yeah,
Because
true.
those people who are going to retain in the organization, they are going to take your organization to the next level of growth and success. If they are not going to stay, then you always keep on hiring the people,
Yeah.
and if never able to create the second ladder of leadership capability. See, I always keep on saying in our coaching program, it is not the individual business leadership, it is the collaborative teamwork which takes the organization to the next level of growth and success. So
Hmm.
it is the team. And as you said, listening. I know I always emphasize on this part, listening to understand, to transform. Listening is the highest level of respect you can give it to anybody and to yourself. When you listen, people feel that they have been heard, they have been listened, and that to have that kind of listening, it is not possible when you operate from the good and bad, right and wrong, likes and dislike. You have to operate from being compassionate. Empathy and compassion has to be there in the leadership. Unless you are compassionate, unless you care for the people, it is very difficult to listen. Till you are into good and bad and judging the people and arguing with the people, listening is not going to happen in that way. So your own transformation as a business leader, your own self-awareness as a business leader, make you a transformed business leader, bring you compassion and empathy inside you, where you start listening to the people. And when you start listening to the people, that creates the work culture. When people are listened, empowered, transformed, given the opportunity, respected, and rewarded at an appropriate level. And as you said, reward is not only always giving the job promotion. Yes,
Hmm.
job promotion has the limitation. How they are able to grow in their role, existing role, how they
Yes.
can diversify their existing role. And in a
Hmm.
bigger organization, in the similar role, you have many opportunities to be taken care of. How you
Hmm.
are helping them to grow and get empowered in their different kind of role by having these skills and capability, building it up. And when you empower people, those people together with all other empowered people create a work culture where people feel respected, people feel responsible. They take the responsibility of the organization to taking them to the next level of growth and success. And of course, these all things creates the belongingness. When you
Yes.
are heard, when you are empowered, when you are listened, when you are having empathetic, when you have a world class work culture, that creates the belongingness. It becomes a family. It is no more a corporate place, it is no more an office or no more a job. It becomes your own family, it's your own culture. And we, everybody, we contribute in the creating the culture of the organization once we are transformed and empowered. That's a great thought. I think we have talked about very good things about the listening. One of the question is a very good friend. Sanjay ji is there. He is a business entrepreneur. He always keep on asking me some question. Okay, you always talk about retaining the lot of people in big organization, but MSME, retaining the people in a smaller organization where the salary figures are not very high, job is not might be very rosy, or opportunities are also limited because uh, but MSMEs are very important for the organization. These are going to be the growth engine for any country. Like, if MSME grows for at least 10 to 15% more in India, India is going to become the third largest economy by that. So there are many permutations and combinations are there, and one of the permutation and forecast is there key the contribution of MSME in GDP of the country. So the question he was asking ki how you suggest retaining the a smaller organization, their team, which might be an accountant level, supervisor level, officers level, might not be a director and VPs, but how we retain. So you have any idea and thought on this one? We can talk about.
Yes, like you rightly mentioned, SMEs are going to be the growth engines of the country.
Yeah,
And as far as money is concerned, money may not be the only factor wherein people are retained.
right,
Employees also aware as to how the company is doing, how the MSM is doing,
right,
and what they can pay.
yeah,
Money is always more money is always welcome, but
right,
if the company can't pay money, they can
right,
compensate in a lot of other things. Non-monetary benefits can be given. You
true,
rightly mentioned if you can create a family atmosphere, they will
true,
feel that they are cared for.
yeah,
It could be something to do with joint celebrations, whether it's
right,
festival, it's a family event. It could be a
yeah,
family event at the employee's place, wherein the management also takes part.
right,
Other small gifts could be given.
yeah,
The corporate can have organized, say
yeah,
for example, it could be once in a month, sorry, once in a year or once 2 years, a picnic wherein
yeah,
they everyone together. There
right,
could be an end of the year award ceremony wherein the
true,
better performers or
yeah,
the performing teams are felicitated and recognized
Right.
in front of their family members. So, what
Yeah.
will happen is, even though there are no monetary rewards as such,
Yeah.
the other rewards wherein the recognition,
Right.
every human being craves for recognition
True.
and appreciation. If in a
Right.
public forum this
Yeah.
can be done,
Yeah.
I think we will find that even in small companies the attrition can be curbed. I'm not saying it
Yeah.
can't be. Yes,
Yes.
I am aware. I have also handled a BPO wherein the attrition levels were almost skyrocketing. At the
Yes.
lower level, yes, that will always be there, and with the younger generation, that will be there. But if this sense of caring is given, if this work-life harmony is brought about,
Right.
then I feel there is a chance of retaining more employees,
Right. I
and
think,
especially the employees.
yeah, yeah, that's fine. I think you have given a very nice thoughts and idea. And even the same line, I also say, you see, I started my career with a company called Motorola in those days. In India now, Motorola is not so big, but those days used to be a very big company. After probation periods completing there, and you have a discussion with your HR business partner, they will tell you how you are going to grow to next 10 and 15 year in the organization. So
Oh,
when you are joining as a assistant manager, like, I joined as an assistant manager there after completing my CA. So they told me ki based on your capability, evaluation, performance, and all that, so you are going to become the head of the department when you stay in this organization for so many years. But of course, a person like me is not going to stay there. I asked them ki how I can become a director and CFO. So then they said it, because I said them like if I'm going to just become a head of the department, then I might want to stay for a longer period. But that is the beauty. I liked it there, and they said it, this evaluation is going to happen every 3 years. So it is not like that. I'm saying you because you have completed just 3 to 4 months of probation, and on the basis of that, I'm going to say that you are going to grow up to that level. But after 3 years, when you are going to sit, a lot of things can be evaluated, and you can might be tell that okay, you are going to become a director and CFO also. So this clarity was there. I knew that okay, I'm going to work in this organization. Organization is already caring about the people. They have a plan. A person just as a fresher, 1 or 2 years of experience, joining in an organization, they have a clarity. Okay, you can grow up to a leadership level, and that is the biggest, like kind of you see a future there, and you see that the company is supporting. Company will tell you that these are the XYZ things you need to do it so that you can able to be up to that level. So much of coaching, so much of training, so much of learning, you have to do it, and the company will process will take care of that. So I think even MSME, when I started my own organization, we are very small, but we give a roadmap for the people. Like our business development executive who joins as an organization, we tell them that okay, after 3 years, you are also going to become a coach. So whether you are going to take a professional career as a coach or not, but you are going to get the certification and coaching to become a coach, and you need to have an understanding. And why not? If you are capable, and we should be able to grow you up to a level. Okay, after 5 to 7 years, you can start becoming a coach, and you can start empowering and coaching the people. So we can create the examples at our organization level. Ours are also MSME organization, and that is the way creating a work culture, empowering the people. Like I personally feel is sometime in a smaller organization you get more opportunity to learn a lot of
yes,
things
yes,
because
yes.
peoples are less,
Hmm.
work pressures are very high. So if you are willing to learn, lot of opportunity can be under created there. And just you have to be like in an organization the culture has to be created ki anybody is interested, you can learn many part and many areas. And the learning which happens at the lower level when you are growing in the ladder doesn't happen at the senior level. Once you become a finance director, you're not going to become a supply chain director,
Hmm.
difficult, or you're not going to become an HR director. But when you are an HR finance manager, you can take the role of HR manager and supply chain manager at least in the vacation period. I remember when I was working in Unilever, of course, I was based out at Middle East. So people used to have 1 month of vacation.
Mm.
So I used to be the backup for my sometime my HR manager, sometime I backup for my supply chain manager, sometime I backup for the IT manager. So I got an opportunity to learn, like of course, finance my core capability, but I need to learn how I can learn the finance also, I can learn the supply chain also, I can learn the HR things also. So that is possible at a smaller organization and a smaller level, and when you are growing in the organization, once you grow and become very much specialized, then you are seen that you are growing in that vertical. And
Mm.
again, of course, you become a CEO level, then you can manage the whole organization. So I think a smaller organization offers better opportunity. And again, as you said it, that we have to create a family-like work culture, reward the people, appreciate the people, have the transparency and clarity. If you work, you are going to deliver the result. And if you are going to deliver the result, you are going to grow in the organization the way other peoples are growing. So that is the way people can retain the people in the smaller organization also. And there is no doubt in that we have been retaining a lot of people in our organization and other organizations, so people get retained. Would you like to add any more thoughts on this retention strategy, Prem? Otherwise, we had a very nice discussion today.
Yeah, but what I would like to say is to tackle attrition effectively, we would need to focus on creating a sense of belonging,
Right.
as active listening,
Yeah.
demonstrating empathy and compassion,
True.
nurture talent, and design a culture of caring. By implementing these strategies, we can
Yeah.
build a more engaged and
True.
loyal workforce, is what I would like to end with.
Right. Great. I think thank you for sharing your words here
My
and
pleasure.
wisdom. I would like to thank you all my viewers who are watching us live, and they all appreciate our talks and discussion. And because of them, we are here every week at 4 o'clock. Every Friday at 4 o'clock, we come with a live show, Talk to Coach with Dr. D, where we are able to invite many other coaches, many business leaders, many experts who can talk and share, and we can address any challenges and any questions relating to corporate life, business, career, even in relationship, we talk about the various aspects. I would like to thank you all of you for watching us. Thank you, Premraj. Thank you for coming
Thank
here.
you. Yeah,
Thank
pleasure.
you.
It's a pleasure.